What's up everyone, it's Karthik with MoneyVest. Welcome on board for our Market Open live stream. Today is also the day we're going to get the FOMC minutes numbers at 2 p.m. Eastern. The FOMC minutes essentially telling us what was discussed in the prior FOMC meeting. Earnings are also coming out, so if my audio and video is good, just give me a thumbs up. Just want to make sure there are no technical issues as we are seeing the markets pushing higher a little bit here, so gapping up slightly as Nvidia is pushing up over 1.85%. We got Amazon pushing up almost 1%. We got Tesla and Palantir also higher. So Palantir is up almost 3%, with Tesla basically flat right now, trading up to 410 and 411, as Ethereum is a little bit under $2,000, and Bitcoin also struggling still at around $67,000 at the moment. Volatility is back down about 0.5%, trading at just over 20 right now for the VIX. And we did get some 13F filings from a lot of institutional investors yesterday. That was a deadline. And of course, we got some substantial increases and new positions for Amazon, Meta, and Google, and some exits and reduction in positions for Nvidia, Tesla, and Apple. Microsoft was more or less flat to slightly down. But then, of course, Berkshire Hathaway did reduce their position in Amazon as well, with Pershing Square, Bill Ackman starting a new position in Meta Platforms and adding to their position in Amazon substantially as well. 65% increase on Amazon and a brand new position in Meta Platforms as well. So Amazon's up almost 1% pre-market. Meta is down about 0.5%, trading down to 636 at the moment, and gold prices are sitting just under $5,000 an ounce, and silver prices are sitting just over $76 per ounce at the moment as well. Hope you all are doing great. If the audio and the video is good, just give me a thumbs up, and I'm open to all questions now. So any questions, let me know. This is the time to go over fundamentals, technicals, talk a little bit about macroeconomics, fiscal and monetary policy. Everything we're open to discussing. After May, we're going to be in a very new environment, as Jerome Powell is no longer going to be the chairman of the Fed. And so it's going to be quite a new era, Kevin Warsh era, as the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And of course, the markets right now are pricing in for 2 rate cuts. That's where market pricing is at the moment. 1 rate cut in June, another one in September, I believe. And the Federal Reserve themselves have penciled in for only 1 rate cut so far in 2026. The next meeting is going to be accompanied with a summary of economic projections, so we'll see if that is going to see a little bit of a difference in the overall rate cut expectations or not. Does it look like Ethereum and Bitcoin are forming a bear flag? It does, yes. We are seeing a little bit of a bearish pennant, so to speak. So this is the lower high, and this right here is the higher low for Bitcoin. So this is the potential bearish flag is what we're seeing for Bitcoin. So again, this was the entire sell-off, consolidating sideways. If you do get a breakdown below this, we're looking at 60,000 as the next support level once again, or even lower, possibly down to 55. I think there's some predictions happening that around 40,000 is going to be the low for Bitcoin. And for Ethereum also, it's the same thing. You'll notice that this was the sell-off, and now it's consolidating sideways inside this symmetrical triangle. And a breakdown can potentially send us down in the $1,400 range for Ethereum. So yes, both of them are indeed making some kind of bear flag at the moment. Any accumulation of BM&R in 13F? Let's just take a look at it together. I'm just going to type in BM&R and see if there's been any increase in filings. So looks like we saw a modest increase in filings. So 440 filings that were mentioning BM&R compared to 429 in Q3 of 2025. And then if you click on it and then we compare it to third quarter 2025, this is going to be a good way to kind of look at this. There were some new accumulations. So Hudson Bay Capital, then we got Myra Asset Global Management, Millennium Management, adding to their positions about 1 million shares, 1.5 million, 2 million. And then we also did have some exits of BlackRock, HRT, Simplex Trading. Now, BlackRock, I would not treat this as a actual report, because there are some inconsistencies with the 13F filings that I'm seeing for BlackRock. Because, if you look at BlackRock and you open this up for them as a separate company, there are a lot of inconsistencies because they have a lot of subsidiaries. And that's one of the reasons why there's kind of showing us very weird data. As managers, you can see BlackRock Inc., BlackRock Group, BlackRock Advisors. And as a result, I would not trust that specific piece of data because with that accord, we can look at a lot of different stocks that they have exited out of, but that's not actually the case. But yeah, coming back over to BMNR, what we're seeing is, once again, some exits and some additions, but overall, I think net ownership might have increased for BMNR. You know what? We can even download the spreadsheet, and then we can take a look at this together. So I'll copy this, download this CSV, and then I'll open it up in a Excel spreadsheet here just for us to take a look at very quickly. This is just going to be some very rough estimates, again, not accounting for any discrepancies or inaccuracies here, because you'll notice that BlackRock still has a negative 3.4 million, HRT Financial negative 2 million. So we have to, of course, look at those very carefully. But looking at this entire chart, it seems like there was over 400, there was about 40 million shares added on a net basis, 40 million added for BMNR in the fourth quarter 2025, as well as the overall filings increased from 429 to 440. So yes, the data does suggest there was an increase in the overall ownership for BMNR. Now, whether that's good or bad, I'll let you decide, but it does feel like institutional investors are indeed picking up more BMNR as it's going down. Would you open positions in any SaaS stocks? So I've already been picking up a few. Palantir can be considered as a SaaS stock, right? So I've been buying Palantir. And then I also mentioned, I think, a few other names that are very attractive, not necessarily SaaS stocks, but they are getting sold off in this entire tech-related sell-off, are Amazon, even Meta Platforms, Robinhood, SoFi, Palantir, AMD, Google. A lot of these high-quality names that are selling off at very aggressively. They're down to some very attractive levels where the risk-reward is getting better and better as they're coming down. SaaS specifically, I think Microsoft is one to look at, but again, a little bit more overexposed with OpenAI. Oracle also is a bit of a tricky one as they continue to pile on more debt. And then there is plenty of SaaS stocks that are selling off. But I remember somebody posting this on our Discord. Let me see if I can pull this up. The winners and losers of the entire SaaS sell-off here. Let me just see if I can pull that up. Can someone share that? Dave, if you're watching, can you pull that up? It was like a screenshot that somebody posted, which is pretty useful. Was it Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan that did that analysis? Let's see. I'm just going to search for it quickly, see if I can find it. If not, then I'll just bring it over some other time. Let's see. I'm just going to search a few more keywords. And then, because I do remember seeing it. It was a good overall picture. I'm going to have to go back so much on our Discord chat because people just go crazy. Every time you log in, you've got to catch up to like 500 plus messages. Let's see. Just a couple more seconds. If I can find it, great. If not, then we will move on to the next question. But yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find it. If someone finds it in our Discord, definitely share it with me, and then I can pull it up on our stream here right now. So, there we go. Found it. Perfect. So yeah, this was shared by Praveen. Thank you so much. Shout out to him. So JP Morgan, AI resilient software companies, 19 stocks to buy amid the AI disruption fears. And so you've got under tech and enterprise software, you got Microsoft, ServiceNow, Okta, and Twilio. Under cybersecurity, you've got Palo Alto Network, you've got SentinelOne, CrowdStrike, Zscaler, Netscope, and Checkpoint. Under data and industry software, you've got Snowflake, Guidewire, JFrog, Q2, SailPoint, CoStar, Tyler Technologies, Viva Systems, and Datadog. A lot of these companies we have analyzed on the channel before. I'll definitely have to do more research, spend more time understanding their businesses, because one of the most important things is a defensible moat, as well as the overall retention and the return on invested capital for everything AI related. The companies that are getting replaced right now, the companies that are no longer valid in this new world of AI, are the ones who don't have a moat, don't have a pricing power, are not investing in AI, are getting replaced by AI aggressively. And so, of course, those are the ones that we want to avoid at all cost. But this is a list of JP Morgan's 19 resilient AI stocks to watch. So that was the overall list there. Okay, let's see. If you had $10,000 to invest for long-term 5 years, what stocks would you invest it in? So that's a good question. I would look at the companies that I mentioned in my previous video, right? The growth stocks, they're all trading down to some pretty attractive levels. Can they go down further? Yes, absolutely. But I think those are all looking very attractive here. Amazon, AMD, you're looking at Robinhood, Palantir, Nvidia at lower prices, of course. But then you have SoFi, you've got Google trading at pretty attractive levels, Meta Platforms, Broadcom trading at pretty attractive levels here. So there's a bunch of them. There's a lot in our shopping list that I think are worth looking into, that are trading at pretty attractive levels already. And if they continue to go down, that's going to result in even better prices. What do you think will happen to the stock market if Supreme Court takes down a tariff? I think that's more speculation than anything else. I think the market's already pricing in that they are going to turn it down. And so I don't think the market's going to reprice itself substantially. But it's already kind of built into that assumption that Supreme Court is going to knock down those tariffs from Trump. Ticker O has been going on a nice run. Any thoughts on it? Yep. So Realty Corp just, cruising higher. I mean, just take a look at this entire run up from Realty Corp from back in $55. It's up over 20% since December of last year. In fact, year to date, the stock is up almost 18%. It's actually outperforming substantially against the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So it's done very, very well. No thoughts overall. I think it's a phenomenal business. It's a dividend aristocrat. It's got a very high occupancy rate. And it's one of the best REITs to own, in my personal opinion, with a very strong dividend yield and nice appreciation as well. Okay, good morning. How do you feel about Applied Digital? NVIDIA recently sold all of its stake with APLD. This stock always seems to bounce back strongly after recent dips. So I think we've done some analysis on APLD. It is down quite a bit, about 8% in pre-market right now. I would say a support level closer to $20. I mean, the first one is going to be closer to $27.50 to $28. I think that's going to be a first support level to watch, all the way down to $20, $21 for APLD. So those right there are going to be two support levels to watch for APLD moving forward. Again, it's a loss-making company, not profitable yet. So for us to really look into this and invest, I think we have to wait a little bit longer. What's your read on Palo Alto Network earnings last night? What are your buy points considering earnings if you had done the analysis already? Yes, so we have looked into Palo Alto before. It's part of the shopping list as well. It's down over 8% as mentioned during the market update video as well. But we did get a double beat, right? So double beat on earnings, on revenue. And then if you come over to the shopping list, Palo Alto is, I believe, part of it. So let me just scroll down. There we go. So Palo Alto with a fair value of closer to 111. And right now we're sitting at 149. So there you go. It's not that far off. Remember when I did the fair value analysis and everybody on Palo Alto was like, are you crazy? $111. It's trading at 223. That is a 50% lower price than where it's trading. And to those people, I always say, never say never. Never say never. Never rule out my fair values because sooner or later they will get hit. And from these levels at 149, the stock now only needs to drop 20%. That's it. It's nothing. Given the market environment, given the overall sentiment, we've seen stocks drop 20% in a few days. You're telling me Palo Alto can't drop another 20%? I don't buy it. We got a light buy 144 though, so we're coming very close to the light buy. I think 143 being a very strong support here, and the light buy at 144 represents a good opportunity for Palo Alto as well. I think it's a leader in cybersecurity along with CrowdStrike and Fortinet. Earnings are expected to keep growing. Revenue also keep growing, margin expansion. Multiples have come down from all-time highs. So I think it does look pretty attractive around 143, 144 as a potential light buy for Palo Alto. I came here to feel better, and you and Dave are not helping. What's your thoughts? So we already covered that. 60K price point for Bitcoin acts as a critical survival threshold for miners because any lower and they're working at a loss. I believe 60K was the recent bottom. Yes. Yeah, so that is very true. It doesn't make sense for miners to mine more Bitcoin if it's trading below 60,000 because it'll be a loss-making venture unless, of course, they predict prices to go higher. They expect prices to be higher and they keep mining and absorb that loss in the short term. But that being said, yeah, 60,000 is very strong support. If it does break down below this, we could be looking at 40s next. Even though 50 might be a bit of a psychological support, but lower prices are even possible. Okay, so I'm watching. I'll look for it. Perfect. Palantir short, best trade of the year and counting. Yep, Palantir's been crushed this year so far, but it is now starting to show signs of some momentum. Year to date, the stock's down 26%, trading down to a very, very attractive level of support here. So this is going to be an area of support for Palantir around 128, 129, with a resistance all the way up to 142, 143 for Palantir moving forward. Garmin is up. Your sentiment on Oracle. Oracle, I already mentioned, it's a little bit indebted, quite a lot of debt for Oracle right now, but this is the overall lower highs and lower low pattern for Oracle. So sitting inside this downtrend, support level closer to 120 is going to be next for Oracle. CrowdStrike, we also have here on the shopping list. The fair value is around 175, which again is substantially lower with the light buy around 281 for CrowdStrike. So yes, I do understand these prices are very far away for a reason, because we want to buy and get the best deals. We don't want to overpay for a stock, and for that reason, CrowdStrike is trading at a very expensive valuation. As a result, the fair value is around 175, light buy is around 280 for CrowdStrike. So, okay, let's see. What do you think about CRM? I'm down. Should I take the loss? So Salesforce, Temoff used to work at Salesforce. He might be able to help you better on that stock, but I personally have stayed away from Salesforce as well. I think it's another company that traded at a very expensive valuation. It just never made sense for me. Now it's come down to some pretty reasonable levels at 25 times earnings and a little bit under 4.5 times sales. And that is after the fact the stock's down like 50%. So earlier it was trading over 50 times earnings. So if it does continue to fall further, I'm looking at a support roughly around 165 down to as low as 120s for Salesforce. So those are going to be a couple of support levels to watch for this company. And it is pretty oversold. So, it's not like it's going to keep selling off without any green days or any kind of recovery, because it is very, very oversold and there's a limit to how much stocks can go up and down. And so there might be some short-term relief there, but support level down to 165, down to 137 for CRM. Yeah, Oracle's debt scares me for sure. Me too. Makes two of us. It is definitely scary. Oracle taking on so much debt to invest in AI. Looking at DoorDash, we have done an analysis on DoorDash as well. Continues to break down from this head and shoulders, or not exactly at head and shoulders, but very similar to it. And we've got a support level now sitting roughly at 162, 163 for DoorDash. So that's exactly where we're sitting at the moment, with a resistance now sitting all the way up to as much as 212, 213 for DoorDash. Yeah, REITs we've already gone over, multiple different kind of REITs I've talked about on the channel before. Realty Income Corp definitely is one of my big ones. American Towers is another one, so AMT. Then we have another one, which is Digital Realty, DLR. So DLR is another one to look into, which is basically looking at data centers and essentially acquires co-location interconnection solutions. So this is another one that we have looked at. So there's the three REITs that I want to look at. American Towers, which is more network towers, and again, any kind of interesting real estate that is not going to be available by other means, right? There's a lot of commercial real estate, there's a lot of residential real estate, but you want to look at things that are going to be around for a long time. And American Towers, owning, operating, developing multi-tenant real estate properties, offering leasing and space on communication sites to wireless service providers, radio, television broadcast companies. So AMT, DLR, and Realty Income Corp offer a very good, nice REITs portfolio. So this one's got a 2.7% yield, and it's also done very well. Since May 2023, it's up 127%, trading back up to all-time highs almost. Amazon, watching from Portugal. Here it's already 2:08 p.m. So Amazon, we have discussed quite at length. Even I did a video on Amazon, so make sure that you do check that out. Oversold, getting a nice little bounce up over 1%, trading back up to over $201 right now. Got a very strong support down at 194, 195 for Amazon. Analysis on MongoDB, so MDB. Let's take a quick look on this company. We have talked about this business before. In fact, I do use their service. Support level for MongoDB 336 down to as low as 222 to as much as 140 for MongoDB. Its revenue is growing very well. Margins are getting better, so that's always a good sign. And then in terms of earnings multiple on a non-GAAP basis, we're looking at $4.81. That puts almost at 90 times or a little bit lower than that. So let's see, 354. And we're looking at earnings on a non-GAAP basis, 481, around 73.5 times earnings for MongoDB. So, balance sheet's good, plenty of cash, very less amount of debt. Margins are getting better on a GAAP basis. Profitability could be well within a few quarters. In fact, it's already turned almost profitable as of Q3 2025. So maybe this quarter is the turning point for MongoDB. $1.48 in earnings per share non-GAAP basis. Revenue is expected at $670 million. It's been pretty range bound. So if you are looking at potential support levels, it's going to be all the way down at 140 for MongoDB, and another support down here at around 250s for this stock. Okay, let's see. That's why Oracle are issuing some bonds, and I've been watching App11 levels. Let's take a quick look at App11 and what levels to watch. Support level is going to stay put at 316 to 320. So this right here, inside this green rectangle and this area of support, is going to be that level of support and that area of demand to watch for App11. Reddit. Let's take a look at Reddit here. Very oversold. I mean, there's every stock that I pull up is down a lot, substantially, like down from like anywhere 15, 20, 30, 40%. And this thing's down 53% from all-time highs. So for Reddit, I would keep a support at around $80 and another support down as low as 124, 125. I honestly see a little bit more potential in Reddit than I do in X. I spend a lot of time on Reddit. I think Reddit's phenomenal for insights, for following some very, very curated subreddits that you can, do more research. It helps you a lot with your research and your analysis and kind of people sharing their experiences and insights and perspective. And I do spend quite a bit of time on Reddit every day, more time than I spend on X or even on Instagram. So mostly reading. So Reddit I do like as a consumer app, but fundamentally speaking, I mean, it has to make money too, right? It has to be a self-sustaining business for the long term, and revenues and profits have also been growing, which is very good to see. And so support level is going to stay at 124 down to $79.80 for Reddit. In terms of valuation, we're looking at 52 times earnings and a little bit under 13 times sales. Balance sheet's phenomenal. So if the revenue is growing, earnings are growing, balance sheet's good, this then becomes more of a valuation play where you want to look for Reddit at a better pricing than anything else. Guys, we've covered a lot of stocks. Amazon we covered earlier. We talked about it. So community names you follow in Reddit. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I mostly follow a lot of Dubai communities, like Dubai real estate, Dubai in general, and then just other things like, UAE related, Chinese cars, like all the different like subreddits that are interesting. So there's going to be always something to look at. Okay, just a couple more questions, guys. I'm gonna end the stream a little early today, but let me know if you have any other stocks that we haven't gone over or any other questions that I can help you with here, whether it's fundamental analysis, technical analysis, or any related to options trading, monetary policy, fiscal policy. There's one simple message I will share is oftentimes, in the markets, you can kind of feel like you need to be doing something. But right now we're in an area of consolidation, right? There's not much to do other than look at individual stocks, where they're trading, calculate their fair values, and just consistently dollar cost average at high quality names. That's it. There doesn't have to be always a lot to do. Sometimes markets will give us opportunities where we have to patiently just wait and take. That's it. So if you take a look at the S&P 500 right now, how long have we been in this range? We have been consolidating sideways since October. We are actually at the same level as we were back in October of last year. So how many months? That's like 5 months of nothing from the S&P 500. It's essentially trading sideways. Same thing with the NASDAQ as well. I mean, just take a look. We are at the same level as we were back in September. It's been 6 months now. 6 months, the NASDAQ has not done anything. It is literally just traded like this. Go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and down. That's the range within which we are. So what I'm telling myself is that you will go through periods of the market. There will be multiple cycles where we go through periods of this, we go through periods of this, and we go through periods of this. We like these periods, and of course we love these periods. So it's our goal, it's our opportunity, and it's our understanding of these cycles that help us, right? Because if you're trying to force something let's say you're trying to force a trade in a consolidated market or in a downtrending market, you'll get burned, right? So it's really important to understand that you trade on the way up and you DCA for long-term opportunities on the way down, and you buy when the markets are consolidating, when there's opportunities, when stocks are coming down. That's the time to just slowly, patiently DCA for your long-term positions and not force trades. On the way up, the momentum's on your side. You can trade all you want. There's going to be a lot more to do. But looking at the overall market structure, there's been a lot of consolidation. There's been a lot of lack of direction and a lot of indecision in this market right now. So, okay, thank you so much for joining, everyone. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to jump into our Discord for any questions over there and share the alerts there. Feels like a day to short silver. I know Temov's been crushing it with silver shorts. And yes, I would say that if it gets up to over $82 again, I think that would be a pretty good resistance to look at for shorting silver once again. So thank you so much. As always, happy investing. Link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining our MoneyVest platform with a 40% annual discount available until the end of this month. Get access to all the trade alerts, members-only videos, portfolio updates, MoneyVest website access, educational content, all of that available on our MoneyVest community. As always, happy investing. Hope you all have a great day. Don't forget FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern today. Happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.